Alright, we're gonna kick this off on the song change. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. I am super keen. So we're kind of feeling things out for this episode. Little disclaimer before we start: the edits that I'm doing are my own artistic preference for images. They're not necessarily making the images any better. It's just my interpretation of how the image looks and what I like to do. Don't see it as me like being like, oh, this photo's bad, I'm gonna make it good. Like that's not my intention. These photos are all amazing already. I'm just giving them my own little touch. That's what we're doing. So I think we're gonna start with a shot from Broke Sheep, who I don't think has a social to shout out. But Broke Sheep submitted 3 photos, so we're gonna do the first one. So this was my favorite one that was submitted. It's real tasty. I really like this shot. There's good leading lines. There's a sense of speed. It's not too much blur. Car is centered. It's just a really good shot. So what I first like to do is kind of just mess with the black level and leave contrast alone for now because I like to do selective stuff. Now the only colors that I already want to mess with potentially, and we're going to see how it looks, is the orange in the background, just to make it a bit more orange because I think it contrasts a little bit better. And we're going to make the buildings a little bit more orange as well, and potentially a bit darker. I kind of want to keep some blue in the car because it's like a nice gray blue. I don't want it to be like silver. What I like to do is actually just make this a bit more orange and this a bit more aqua, and we can play with the saturation, see what looks good. And now we get to do the gradient stuff, which is the fun part. So this is where you start like really bringing out the photo. So I'm gonna do a darker gradient from the corner. You can drop this quite low, and it looks like there's a bit of light because you can like see the sky here. So I'm gonna do that kind of angle and just raise it ever so slightly. And the only thing that I want to do, because I feel like the highlights are a bit harsh in the car now, I'm gonna drop the highlights a tad. All right, this is the before, this is the after. So next up, we have a shot submitted by Mr. Forza 4 photos himself. This is a really dope dude. Please go check him out. Alright, so this is a really cool speed tail shot. Make the yellow more orange. Always looks good on a number plate. Yeah, more aqua looks better. It's not a big change. I'm just watching like the back of the car here and playing around like with what I think looks cool. A bit of purple actually does look pretty cool. All my friends are suddenly playing stuff on Steam, apparently. Or Steam is just being weird. Alright, let's do some selective stuff. Again, I'm going to do it from this right-hand corner. I'm just going to make it a bit darker. And we don't really need to do much because there's already a flare. So I just want to see if we make a subtle shift, not that much, in the sky. Now, I do want to just basically some clarity to the back end of the car. Drop the contrast a bit on that just so you can still see the details. We'll make it slightly brighter. Alright, so there's the before, there's the after. My thoughts on this was basically I just wanted to enhance the contrast. Honestly, like Forza 4 photos takes amazing photos like as is without any edits. They're always like incredible looking. Tweak the blue slightly to give it like a more aqua feel, because before was very like a light purpley aqua. I made it like more bluey aqua, and then we just enhanced the rear end a little bit to like kind of brighten up the lights a little bit, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty good. Okay, the next shot is from Forza Shots Forza. Yeah, dude, this is a nice shot. I like this shot. Also the 720S, fantastic looking car this. Sadly I don't have a McLaren shot, it was down for like 6 hours. Oh no. Don't worry, we're gonna be doing a lot more of these, so there'll be plenty of time to submit photos in the future, I promise. I'm running over my own cables. Okay. So I really like this shot. There's a lot we can do with this. So let's once again start with the simple stuff. Always important to get this right off the bat. You don't want to be doing this last because it just becomes harder and you end up making things darker or too bright where it shouldn't be. Alright, I think that's... I'm not going to change too much in the HSL. I feel like the colors are pretty good already. Then we're going to come down to calibration. And once again, we're basically just going to make this a bit more orange. It's a bit more aqua. And we're going to do some selective editing. So for these types of shots, 100% always like to add a dark gradient directly from the bottom, because it just draws your eye up towards the car. And for this one, it actually may work from the top as well. And then we have some light coming from the left hand side. I'm gonna do this, but it's like very subtle light, so I'm gonna drag this over so it's just a slight gradient. I'm gonna bump that up a little bit, add some contrast to balance it. I'm actually just gonna do this on the front of the car, but we're gonna add a little bit of exposure, and then we're gonna add another one on the whole car, and we're gonna add some clarity. Just invert it again, add a little bit of dehaze, just to get rid of that like slightly harsh lighting that we got from increasing the exposure. Alright, and I'd call that done. So let's have a quick look at the before and after. This is the before. Really cool picture. I really dig it. And this is the after. I think that came out pretty well. Okay, so next shot is from NZ Auto. Really cool page I found recently. Does some really cool shots, like very much darker kind of style, so I dig it. And we have a shot of the P1, which is probably my favorite McLaren, so extra brownie points for that. I really dig this picture. It's really cool already. I don't think it needs a whole lot of editing, but let's see what we can do. I'm trying to think of what I can do to make the colors blend. I'm seeing like there's a bit of yellow, so let's see what we can do with saturation in the HSL. Is it yellow or is it orange? It's orange. I'm actually going to drop the orange a whole bunch. Basically just drop all these colors so there's nothing much besides that red, because I really want the lights to be the focus, as they should be on a P1. Okay, midtones, we're gonna just basically use this to kind of balance. You kind of just have to learn to trust your eyes on this sometimes. There isn't always an amount or setting that works for everything. Okay, so by adding blue in, it's kind of cancelling out the orange in the sky, which is darkened up in front of the car. And we'll just add a bunch of contrast. Okay, let's have a quick look at the before. That is the before, and that is the after. So basically, I kind of just wanted to desaturate the background so the car stands out a bit more and really like draws your eye to the taillights. Because this is honestly like my favorite design for a taillight ever. It's so beautiful. Okay, NZ Auto, thank you for the awesome shot.